experience.
And this is a Nebraska team with history. You know, in the past 4 years, they've won 2 of the NCAA championships. Even though they're a young team, they're experienced. They know how to win, and that's a message that their coach, John Cook, has relayed this entire season. It's been all about getting back to the NCAA championship game and winning it this year.
As our teams line up, Nicklin Hames for the Cornhuskers will take the first serve. Johnston with the dig. Hughes with the rocket into the back line.
And that's what we've seen from Hughes these past couple of games. Her arm there, it's just literally killing the other team. She's getting those kills, going up for it.
Hughes a little undersized, but that doesn't stop her. She's really got the vertical and, as you said, powerful arm. Lexi Sun there with the kill.
I mean, as we highlighted her in the open, she leads the team in kills. You know, she's going to be crucial on that front line for them in this game.
She's been such a standout as that outside hitter. Sun with the serve now. Dug by Johnston. Hughes again. Jazz Sweet there. A little too far.
And as we see Courtney Bizzario head to serve it up, she's been struggling with some errors on the serves there. So I think that's one part of the game that we're going to have to see her really tighten down on if the Hawkeyes want to win this one.
Certainly against such a tough team, you can't really afford. Looks like we got a lift there. Or 4 hits, excuse me. Point will go to the Hawks. Hawks with an early lead, 3-1. Bizzario will take the serve again. Too far. There's those serving errors that we were talking about.
Yeah, she's really going to need to tighten down on that because those are important points for the Hawkeyes to win. And an experienced team like Nebraska there, that's something that they're going to capitalize and run away with as the game goes on if that keeps happening.
Freshman Kenzie Knuckles with the serve.
It's like we're just exchanging errors here.
This first set, we'll have to see who can clean up their act first. They'll probably pull ahead and get some points here. Maddie Slagle now. Step. There's Jazz Sweet again.
And I think for Iowa, that front line needs to have good movement there and get up for the blocks.
Iowa struggling a little bit on those blocks. We've seen Blythe Reentz step up late in this season. She's got quite a few. Kendra Hansen there. Going into the Nebraska block, but we've got an error there, and the point will go to the Hawks. Hawkeyes serve here.
It's interesting, we see Grace Tubbs just came into the game and she's leaving it now, but she hasn't played much, so it's interesting the rotation that Vicki Brown has coming into this game and maybe getting some of the less experienced players some playing time against a very good Nebraska team.
Certainly a lot of lessons to be learned in stepping up and being competitive against a good team like this.
And I think that's been the message for Iowa this entire season. You know, we have first-year head coach Vicki Brown, so it'll be important for these players to get used to the coach and her coaching style, and they'll just be growing from there.
Clayton blocked on that last play. Maddie Kubik now with the serve. Kendra Hansen, light touch. Dug by Bizzario. Hansen again. Maddie Kubik, a rocket, and the Hawkeyes can't deal with it. Nebraska pulls ahead 6-5 here in this first set.
You mentioned Maddie Kubik with that kill there. She was named Freshman Player of the Week earlier on in October, so she's going to be big for this Nebraska team.
Lexi Sun again. On that left side, she's so deadly, finding that back right corner.
We'll have to see how Iowa goes about defending her and trying to get those blocks on her kills there.
Kubik again. Blythe Reens gets that kill there.
And what we can already see with this Iowa team is they celebrate every single point. No matter if they're trailing by 1 or a couple or leading by 10. They're celebrating every point as if it's the match point, and that's very interesting to see.
Kubik there, a light touch across the net, seemed a little awkward, but worked. Lauren Strivrins, too far on that one. It's tied at 7 here in Carver Hawkeye Arena. Jocelyn Boyer with that serve. Sun will go up.
Big block there by Hansen.
Stivrins couldn't get past those Iowa defenders there. Iowa pulls ahead again. It's 8-7. Been a bit of a back and forth already. The Hawks are really showing up in this first set. Boyer again. Sun blocked. Hansen, the light touch. She fools the Huskers there on that one. Point for the Hawkeyes.
And it's important for Iowa to get out to a early start here. I mean, they're 7-2 when they win the first set. So if they can win this first set against Nebraska, they have a chance in this game.
Maddie Slagle there, unable to get the reach on that long one. Haley Densberger here now with the serve. Hannah Clayton with that hit there. Sun again. She finds that open middle. Point for the Huskers there.
That's what I was going to have to make sure they don't leave an area like that open. You know, she read that perfectly and was able to find the open court.
On a volley like that, it's tough to keep your position and to keep adapting is such a quick game here. Dug by Johnston. Hannah Clayton tools that one on off. Point for the Hawks. Kenzie Knuckles back in now for the Huskers. Same with Greer Hughes for the Hawks. Kendra Hansen will take the serve.
Iowa's getting up there for the blocks, getting those points there.
That one tools out. Lexi Sun blocked, but Hawks can't keep it inside the lines. Bizzario and Hannah Clayton over there have been pretty effective team.
They have been. You know, they're that good combination there. It's just like I say, chips and salsa. Always a good combination. That's what we're seeing from them tonight.
Greer Hughes now.
You can just see the height that Greer Hughes is able to get on those jumps there.
Sun too far. Grace Tubbs back in for the Hawks. But also got Emily Bushman in, the lone senior here.
And it's good to see her play in this game. You know, she is that lone senior. She's going to be an important leader role against in the game today.
Sun causes a point again for the Huskers, and will take this serve. Sun 291 kills on the season so far. Bezerio puts it right over.
Hughes again comes up with that massive kill.
Hughes, such a big presence on this Hawkeye team. We've seen it the past couple of games, and the story is no different today already.
Well, that's good to see how she's stepped up and really become a leader with the team, and she's consistent with it. That's the key. And I think that's where Iowa's been struggling a bit this season, is consistency. To have her be consistent and keep coming up big in those points.
Callie Schwarzenbach unable to get that over. It is 13-11 here. Hawks lead. Courtney Bezerio will take the serve. Kubik there. She toes the line, earns that point for her team. Kenzie Knuckles with the serve. Knuckles named the Big Ten Co-Defensive Player of the Week on Monday. Nicklin Hames can't keep that one in. Maddie Slagle back in, as well as Kendra Hansen.
Vicki Brown's doing a good job of keeping her team rested in this game. You know, we're seeing a lot of subs, not letting them stay on the court for too long, and that's important.
Lauren Stivrins with that kill there.
She was able to lay that ball right at the feet of Courtney Bezerio, unable to get down for it.
We've seen Vicki Brown very actively coaching. John Cook is preferring to let his out-of-game coaching speak for itself.
Yeah, I think that's the difference we see between a first-year coach and a coach in their 20th season. Vicki Brown's very involved with her players. Part of that probably still getting to know them, making sure she's ingrained in this team. Whereas John Cook, he's left his mark on Nebraska. He knows his players know him and his coaching style, and he's able to sit back and let them do what they know to do.
Blythe Reams with that. Maddie Kubik tools that one off. 14-15 here. The Huskers take the lead.
John Cook is a legend at Nebraska. He's 579 and 79, and he's the 5th all-time winningest coach in NCAA volleyball history. So two very different coaches. We've seen two very different coaching styles so far, but we have a tied game right now at 15-all.
Grace Tubbs now with the serve. Bit of a miscommunication there. I think Grace Tubbs thought Kendra Hansen was going to get it, but Maddie Kubik will earn that point for the Huskers and take the serve. Big dig from Maddie Slagle there. Too far from Lexi Sun. We see that sometimes. These girls with such powerful arms can't get it down quite far enough.
Yeah, it's almost like they're focusing too much on the power, not enough on where they're placing the ball.
I think that's what we've seen from Greer Hughes is she gets that height, and so she can come down on the ball more.
Great dig there by Johnston. And just there we see Johnston saves that point, and she's second in the Big Ten with 4.79 digs per set. So having her commanding the defense there, incredibly important to the success of this Hawkeye team.
Johnston's first year as the Iowa's libero. She's done very well so far.
And she had big shoes to fill with Molly Kelly. Molly Kelly was very excellent in the libero position.
Hawks up by just 1 point here in this first set. Lexi Sun, dug by Slagle. Kendra Hansen, little fake out there. Boyer with the great dig. Anna Clayton is blocked. That point will go to the Huskers.
That was a nice volley there. We're seeing good movement on both of these teams. They're grinding out each and every point.
Certainly some really exciting volleyball tonight.
And you can feel the crowds getting into it too. We have a big crowd here tonight at Carver Hawkeye Arena. And it's great that they get to see some good volleyball between two good teams.
A lot of red here tonight. A lot of Huskers made the about 4.5-hour trip from Lincoln.
And you know, Nebraska volleyball is big there. You know, they've had a record of how many games they've sold out at the Devaney Center, and they bring that to Carver Hawkeye with them.
Hawks with the point there. Kill by Kendra Hansen. They pull ahead 18-17. It's a bit of a nail biter so far.
It really is. They got me a little nervous over here over which way this is going to go. I'm excited to see it.
Hansen with the serve. Dug by Knuckles. Lexi Sun. Almost blocked, but Jocelyn Boyer can't get to it. Nicklin Hames will take the serve now. Hughes back in for the Hawks. Hames 11 double-doubles on the season. Hughes an awkward set there, but it works. Tipped off the Hawks there. Hames will take the serve again.
And Hames is another one of those young players that has stepped up for the team.
She's got 10.93 assists per set this season.
Not to mention she leads the team in assists with 885.
It's quite a number.
That is a big number there.
Hughes with the kill there. Hawks tie it up again. 19-19. We're nearing this 25-point mark, and it's not, there's no widening gap. Johnston with the serve. Jazz Sweet with the kill there. Sun will take the serve. Johnston with the dig. Hughes. Sun digs. Hughes again.
Smart play by for Hughes to just tip it over the net. She could have gone for the big hard kill, but she decides to just tip it over there. Looks like it might have fooled some of the Nebraska players.
We've seen that a number of times tonight. She'll get that great big leap going and big swing back, but just a little light touch. Bizzario with the serve. Jazz Sweet.
Aaron, you didn't want to catch that ball there. It came right to you.
I don't quite have the height that these ladies have. Kenzie Knuckles will take the serve now for the Huskers. double hit there. Huskers up 22-20 now. Knuckles back for the serve again.
And that double hit could come back to haunt Iowa in this first set if Nebraska is able to pull away here.
2 points is almost a big lead here in this first set.
It feels like that so far with this set, considering we've only seen 1 point leads.
23-20 now. Huskers pulling away perhaps. Knuckles back to serve again. Right. Knuckles with the serve. That one's out of bounds.
Just goes wide there, and good read by Bushman to not go after and to know that it was going out of bounds. That's the senior captain quality in her that we're seeing at play right there.
Cornhuskers are on their feet. Greer Hughes with the serve now. It's 24-21. Jazz Sweet over the net. Hallie Johnston to Kendra Hansen. Big rally here.
Just goes off of the hand of Bazaria there for Nebraska to win that first set.
Lauren Stivrins gets that last point to win the set 25-20.
I think if Nebraska is able to get a couple points beginning, it might start drifting away for this Hawkeye team.
Callie Schwarzenbach puts that first point away for the Huskers. Lexi Sun and Maddie Kubik for the Huskers lead the kills this game with 8 and 4 respectively. Nicklin Hames with the serve. Hughes earns that deflection there.
That was a massive one there. It goes just over Maddie Kubik's head, unable to get it.
Clive Greenson now for the Hawks. Courtney Bazaria will serve.
And we talked about earlier how Courtney Bazaria leads the team in service errors, but she also leads the team in service aces, and we see that right there. A big ace there for Bazario.
Definitely a misread for the Huskers there. Bazario again.
It looks like we might have had an illegal rotation there by the Cornhuskers.
John Cook will take a timeout here. We're going to step away in just a moment. We'll see you back here in a minute.
And it looked right then, right before Cook called the timeout, Nebraska might have been slightly rattled. They had a rotation error there, and that's not what you really see much in college volleyball. Usually the players are experienced and don't make that error as much.
Reens with that hit there. Ball handling there. Not so great for the Huskers.
No, it's not. They need to handle it better. You know, that's the bottom line there. Play tighter, keep your composure, and not make those needless errors.
Bazario serves again. Jazz Sweet with that one. Hughes a light touch. Almost a great save there by Bazario. That ball a little bit out of control over on that Hawkeye side, and the Huskers will take that point back. They're pull it within 2 here.
Yeah, you see the effort that Bazario made on that, almost running off the court there and into the stands for that one.
Lexi's son. Hughes is blocked by Jazz Sweet and Callie Schwarzenbach there.
It's good to see Nebraska getting up and blocking those there. Hughes is dangerous on that left side, and for them to be able to get that height and block it.
Sun serves again. Another scrappy play by the Hawkeyes, but they get it over the net. Attack by Kubik. That deflects off. The Huskers will take that point and tie it up. It's 4-4.
It's looking like we might not have another close set here.
Sun with the serve. She gets that ace. Hit the tape and drops straight down.
Almost looked like a bit of luck there for Nebraska.
Sun patient. A high serve there. Schwarzenbach just tips that one right down.
Yeah, see a nice second effort from her there as Hughes is able to block her first attempt, but not the second one. Looks like that
Just
one
outside the line.
just a bit wide there. Definitely a close one.
Slagle with the serve. Hansen tries to get it over and is blocked. And again, Kubik gets that one. And Schwarzenbach tries to put it over. But Reens gets the nice dig there. Huskers will take the point off that pretty.
A lot of back and forth there, and Vazeri just unable to send it over the net. It almost looked on that play there. She was unsure of how many hits they already had on her side, thinking they might have already had 3 and had to send it over there.
Knuckles will serve. I don't think Reens could quite get a read on that one. She was a bit disoriented and the ball was maybe out of her line of sight.
That's what we've seen on the past couple of Nebraska points there. Iowa not quite sure where the ball is going.
Hansen hits that one out of bounds on that far side. Huskers have widened their lead to 9-5 now here in the second set. Knuckles with the serve is too far. Hawks will get the ball back. Grace Tubbs will take the serve. Into the net, though.
That's an unfortunate service error there. It's a big point that Iowa needed.
That's Iowa's second service error. Huskers, however, have 4 already on this in these 2 sets. Megan Miller with the serve there. Maddie Kubik gets that deflection. Huskers pull ahead 11-6.
Right now, it looks like the Hawkeyes are just a bit discombobulated, unsure of where to go, unsure of their communication, whereas Nebraska's tight. They're together. They have that teamwork going for them right now.
Lauren Stiveren's a big hit there.
I see a perfect placement from her right between the Iowa defense.
Miller with the serve again. Hawks will get that point. Jocelyn Boyer will take that serve.
And Jocelyn Boyer has been great for this team so far. She leads freshmen in playing time, and she's been key on those serves.
Nicklin Haynes can't get to that one.
Runs into the press table there, looks a bit shaken up from it.
Kind of laughing that one off a little bit. Boyer again. Knuckles with the air there, can't get the dig.
2 big points for Boyer.
Hawkeyes have closed the gap, it's 9-12. Stivrins, huge hit, decisively down the middle.
She brings the hammer on that one. Did not.
Hannah Clayton with that kill there for the Hawks. They pull within 4.
That might have been a really good timeout call from Vicki Brown there. Come back, get the point, get your team back in this game.
Timeouts in volleyball are really important for recentering a team and getting that motivation and momentum back.
Especially with this young Iowa team. She's able to talk them down, get them focused in on the game, and that's 2 straight points for Iowa.
We can see the focus on everyone's faces, including the Huskers, but it's back for the Hawkeyes. Hansen with the serve. Miller with the dig. Sun will hit that one and earn the deflection. Pulls that one off the Hawkeyes. 15-11 here, Huskers lead.
And it looks like we're having senior Emma Bushman come back into the game for Iowa.
Nicole Drunick in for the Huskers for the first time. She'll take the serve. Tricky play by Bizzario, but it doesn't pay off. She's a little bit wide on that one.
Looked like just a tad wide on that, but that's the risk that Iowa needs.
Johnston will see if she can get a clean one off for the Hawks.
And what's great, even though Iowa's trailing here, we still see the team dancing and celebrating on the other side.
That point goes to the Huskers there. Bit of a mix-up at the net. Jazz Sweet back in. Haynes with the serve. Johnston can dig it. Hughes hits that one over. Sun right down the middle, big hit.
I'll tell you what, she's adding to her stats on kills there. She's coming in hot and heavy with those kills.
She leads with 11 on the night. The nearest player is Maddie Kubik. She's got 6. Hughes blocked. Bizzario taps it over. Sun again. Blocked. That lands on the tape and then rolls off to the Huskers side. Sun again finds the open space on this near side.
And even though Sun is the one leading the team in kills right now,
lots of kills here tonight, Katie.
Yeah, we're seeing a ton of kills from both teams, but Nebraska really leads it with 30 kills compared to Iowa's 16. That's been the game changer so far to allow Nebraska to have this lead. And we see another one right there. Jess Sweet is able to come in and get that kill, and she's another player on the team that has over those 200 kills for them.
Iowa, though they trail in kills, it's not for lack of attempts. They've got 57 attacks compared to Nebraska's only 58. That one hits the tape. Boyer with a great pancake save.
Looks like another miscommunication with Iowa there. Hughes unsure of to set it or just tip it over.
Yep, doesn't quite get far enough and hits the tape. Hawks can't hit it the 4th time, obviously. Haynes will serve again. too far. Another service area for the Huskers. Hawkeyes win that ball back, and Bizzario will serve now. 21-13, bit more decisive so far for the Huskers if they can close out this set.
Yeah, the Hawkeyes tried to keep this set close, but it slowly slipped away from them as we've gone on.
Scrappy play from the Huskers there. Hughes with a little tap. That one comes down on the wrong side for the Hawks, though.
Honestly, I'm not sure how Nebraska was able to keep that one alive there. It looked like some players got twisted around, but they were just able to get it over the net and get that point.
It's probably the muscle memory of a team that's worked so hard together, I suppose.
You're definitely right there.
Sun now. Johnson digs. Grace Tubbs, a huge attack.
You can hear Carver Hawkeye Arena erupt in cheers with that kill there.
I think we felt that impact. Maddie Slagle enters and
we can see on that replay there. She just goes all for it there, pure power.
Yeah, and if you can get above it, you don't really have to worry about it going too far. Kubik, a long dig, but Ames can set it successfully, and Nebraska takes that point. It's 23-14. We're nearing in on that 25-point mark in the second set. Freshman Knuckles back now to take the serve.
Knuckles has been big for this Nebraska team. She's only a freshman, and she leads the Huskers with 3.91 digs per set.
She had a career-high 24 digs against Penn State.
And she's really stepped up as the libero for this team. You know, the libero is the one who controls the defense, is in charge, and that's a big job for a freshman to do.
Hawkeyes will hang on for at least a point more. Blythe Marines gets that one back. Tubbs is back to serve. But we're going to see a substitution. Emma Lowe's comes in, the freshman.
This is the first time we've seen her tonight.
Certainly hasn't gotten a lot of playing time yet this year.
No, but it's good to see that Vicki Brown is willing to go to these players who haven't seen as much playing time in a game like this.
Kubik too far on that one. That'll go out the end line.
And Nebraska has set point here.
We're hanging out here. 16 points for the Hawks, 24 for the Huskers. Jazz Sweet. Dug by Lowe's. Reen's here. She'll get that point.
And that just hit off Knuckles' hands, but no one was able to get that dig from her.
Lowe's with the third serve here. It's 17-24 here in Carver Hawkeye Arena.
Got a double hit there for Nebraska. It looked like there's a bit of miscommunication on that back line as to who was going to take that ball. Board of volleyball.
Nicklin Hames will kick off this third set here. Got a ball handling there, error there on the Hawks. That one on Bizzario.
And it's good to see, even though Iowa is trailing 2-0, Vicki Brown's still up on that line, cheering for her team and encouraging them.
Bit of a knuckleball there from Hames, floats over. Hawks can return it though. Sweet with that attack. Dug by Johnston. But the block there from Schwarzenbach and Sun bounces right down into the middle of the Hawks.
Yeah, it almost looked like we had an odd set there by Bizzario. Not quite what she wanted, where they were able to get the kill on that one.
Hames, the third serve here. Catches Emily Bushman by surprise, but she can get that one.
And the Hawkeye team recovered excellently there. It looked like some miscommunication between Bushman and Boyer, but they're able to recover and get that point.
We've seen those floaters from Hames and that little tricked up Emily Bushman, but the Hawks adapted. Jazz Sweet kills it right down the middle. Huskers an early 3-1 lead.
And we haven't mentioned Sweet too much tonight, but she's big on the team. She has 217 kills on the season and just added another one to her stats there.
Sweet, Maddie Kubik, and Greer Hughes for the Hawkeyes are all tied at 6 kills apiece.
Looked like we had a little misread there by Boyer on whether she should hit it or not. She let it go and it stayed in and gave the point to Nebraska.
Sun with the serve. Schwarzenbach able to reach right over that and kill it right down.
She was going head-to-head with Bazaria there on that net, and she was able to put it right past her.
Schwarzenbach and Bazario the tallest out there. Both are 6'5". Hawks get that point there.
Another massive kill by Hughes.
Bazaria with the serve. Dug by Knuckles. Kubik with the attack. Huskers get that point.
Looked almost like possibly a net violation there. Bazaria went up for and reached for the ball while it was still on the Nebraska side of the net.
Knuckles with the serve. Reentz is blocked. Taps it over again.
Have some good movement on the Nebraska line.
Johnston calls Bushman off that one. Some good communication.
Looks like Kubik was unable to get that kill over the net there.
Slagle back to take the serve here for the Hawks. Nebraska with the 6-3 lead. Johnston digs that big attack there from Kubik. And Slagle can't get her arms under that.
That was a nice block by Nebraska there to get that point.
Miller, the sophomore, in for the Huskers. And back to take the serve.
Just wide there for Iowa, unable to keep that ball in.
Reentz hits it just down the line, but not on it. Miller again. Big dig there from Slagle. Huskers put it right back over for that point there. They're up 9-3. Vicki Brown will call that timeout here for
the number 2 offensive and number 1 defensive marks and the Big Ten during conference play. They're supposed to be on top of it, and that's what they're known for, and we're seeing that tonight.
Tubbs with the serve there. Kubik puts it light touch over the net. Just over the Hawkeye blockers. They extend their lead to 6-point difference. Kubik will serve it. Kendra Hansen digs that too far. Huskers take advantage.
I'm sure this is not the start that Vicki Brown wanted to see coming out of that timeout for her team.
Hansen's attack hits the antenna there. Point will go to the Huskers. Kubik again. Too far, another service error for the Huskers.
That front line of Nebraska there didn't seem too sure about that ball going long.
Jocelyn Boyer will serve it for the Hawks.
And it looks like John Cook may be challenging that one, listening to what his team saw there.
Not sure that I saw it so close as they did, but maybe they were looking closer. Not sure.
It'll be interesting to see how this challenge may or may not change the set in the game going forward. It feels like as if Nebraska were to win this, they may run away with it from here on out. It scores 5-12 right now. Iowa trails. If they don't get this point, it might be over for them.
An 8-point differential is certainly a really big hole to come back out of.
Okay. It's that teamwork, team support that's very important to get you through these tough moments.
Jocelyn Boyer floats that one over the net. Son, a big attack there, and it pays off. Schwarzenbach and Nicole Drunick are in now for the Huskers, as well as Anejka Zabo.
That's the first time we've seen her come in tonight.
Zabo's father, Brett, played for the Celtics. A little fun fact there.
Got some sports in her blood there.
Greer Hughes set to come in, as well as Lauren Stivrins for the Huskers. Knuckles is back in as well as Miller. Lots of lineup changes. I think John Cook's letting his all the players get a little
let
action
them rest
in on this game. Yeah,
let your starters rest. Get some other players in. It's good to get that experience in Big Ten conference play.
Too far there on the Husker attack. Hawks will get the ball back on that point. It's 14-7 here in this third set. Huskers up 2-0. Hansen with the serve. Sun will attack. Boyer can handle. Greer Hughes now. Just inside the line there.
That was a great set by Bizarro there. And she's taken over for Brior. That's not her normal position. Usually she's on the outside, but she stepped in and she's able to get that set for the kill.
Yeah, we mentioned it at the beginning of this broadcast that she's really versatile and can step in wherever needed.
Yeah, and even though she's a sophomore, we still see her leading the team right now. Iowa's trailing, but she's still pumping them up, getting them involved, and we've seen that smile on her face quite a bit tonight.
Hames will serve for the Huskers. Clayton can't get that one over the net. Boyer to Hughes. Big dig by Johnston, but Clayton can't get that one over to Bizarro.
Right now it just looks like Nebraska's overpowering Iowa. Their movement's quicker, their kills are stronger, and they're just getting it past the Hawkeye defense.
That clean play can really wear down on a team. Both teams at 77 attacks.
Bizarro tries to tip it over, but
Schwarzenbach's there. She's a really big blocking presence for the Huskers.
She read that play perfectly, ready for it all the way.
Schwarzenbach with 4 blocks here in this game so far. Hughes. Kubik can get it. Jazz Sweet
Boyer just unable to get the dig there.
This third set in Carver Hawkeye Arena. Huskers up 18-8. Hames with the serve now. Bushman will dig. Hughes will attack. She tools that one off. Schwarzenbach and Sweet.
And just love the enthusiasm for the Hawkeye team. Trailing by 9, but they're still in it. They're still playing with all the heart that they have.
That's the mark of a resilient team for sure. Johnston with the serve. Sweet. Boyer digs. Hughes again. Nice catch, Katie.
Thank you. I think I'm going to become a volleyball player here. Can catch the ball, but I certainly can't hit it over that net.
No, it's the Hawkeyes that earn that point. Johnston serves again. Here's Hughes. Sun. Johnson can't dig.
And right now, it just looks like Nebraska's placing the ball where Iowa's not able to get to it.
They've got their eyes set on finishing this set, no pun intended, decisively.
It kind of felt like the pun might have been intended there, Aaron.
It kind of happened, you know? Here's Sun. Nebraska gets that point there. That kill by Kubik. Sun will serve. Hughes gets that kill there.
Just able to stay within the lines.
Lazario will serve now. It's 11-20. Hawks trail. A light one from Bizzario. Sweet.
Great block by Hughes there to go up for it.
Tubbs assisting her there on that block. That was a big attack from Sweet that they had to defend there. You hear the familiar Go Big Red call from the audience here. That one just on the line. Nebraska pulls ahead to 21 points to the Hawkeyes 12.
The fans are definitely enjoying it tonight. Nebraska's played extremely well and put on quite a show for their fans.
It's about as drivable as you can be in the Midwest with about 4.5 hours.
Anything under a 7-hour drive out here is easy.
Not quite the East Coast, not quite Maryland. Your
No,
hometown.
anything over 30 minutes there is too far to go.
Huskers go up to 22 points here in this third set. They're looking to get a 3-set victory here in Carver Hawkeye Arena, and they're certainly getting close. Hughes. Hughes hits that one off the antenna and then out of bounds anyway.
Nebraska only a couple points away here from victory, but they can't let it get ahead of themselves. This Iowa team will claw back and fight until it's over.
Knuckles serves off this 23-point state here in the third set. Hughes with the attack. A light one into the middle. Knuckles, bit of a miss hit.
Nebraska tries to save it, but unable to.
Sweet can't get that backwards dig quite right. It is 13-23. Hawks down by 10 now. They certainly fight for every point. Sligo back to serve. Sweet will get that kill there.
Got a match point here. All of the Nebraska fans are up on their feet, ready to cheer their team on for one last point.
Megan Miller will do the honors if the Huskers can get this last point here. Hansen. She gets that deflection. Hawks hang on for at least one more point here in Carver Hawkeye Arena.
And it's been a good match so far that we've had tonight. You know, the first set extremely close, the second and third not as much, but Iowa's fought in there. It'll be extremely interesting when Iowa and Nebraska face each other off again in just a week back in Lincoln.
Lowe's with that serve there. Stivrins will put that one away. The Huskers take it very decisively, 3-0 for the Hawks. On the road here for the Huskers, and that doesn't faze them at all. What did we see here today, Katie?
You know, we saw some good volleyball here today. The score may not reflect as close of a game as we saw, but both teams played their heart and soul out. We saw some